Hey, my name's Daryl. I'm going to show you guys my cabin and what I've been doing to put radiant heating in the floor. It's a small cabin, but I thought putting in radiant heat will take up the least amount of room. I mean, there's always the nice feel of having actual wood heat in a cabin, but because the cabin is so small, a fireplace would take up lots of room, even a small one. So I decided to go with radiant heat. Radiant heat will give the floor a nice warm feel in the winter time and in the fall, and radiates through, and it's actually not that difficult to do. So you can see at this step here, I have just put in the styrofoam floor. So you can see right here was the original floor, wood floor is underneath. That's just the subfloor, and then the styrofoam is there. It's 1-inch styrofoam. So I put this all up through, and you can see I've drawn the pattern of how the tubing is going to go. I use this PEX tubing, which the coolant will run through. You can see it right here. It's a 1/2 inch inner diameter with 5/8 outer diameter. It's oxygen barrier PEX, which is specific for radiant flooring. If you get the regular PEX for potable water, apparently it's not great for radiant heat. So here I've laid all the insulation in, and I took the time to draw a pattern on the floor. You want to get the maximum amount of coverage you can of tubing on in the floor, so the water the heat has time to come out. You also want long straight runs as best you can, as few radiuses turns as you can. The turns create resistance for the pump, and then the water doesn't flow as well through. So what I've done is I have divided this into 2 runs. I have a hot on this side, which will come down, and then it goes up around the back here along by the window, and it curves and goes back up through, and then back through and down, and then back out is my coal. So back to the reservoir outside. So this will give me, and then I did the same on the other side. You can see where his finger, there it is, comes up, goes by the door, down, around, and back through, and out coal. So this gives me 2 circuits, individual circuits, that'll come up the center and go out by the windows, because you want to cool down, so heat up the area which is the coldest, which is by the windows and by the door, and then kind of gradually bring it towards the center. Well, I've kind of gone center to the outside and back to the inside and back, and so we'll see how it works out. So next step is to cut grooves in the insulation, which will take the heat transfer plates, which I've done another video to show you how I made those heat transfer plates and the purposes for them, and then the radiant heat hosing. All right, we'll be back and we'll talk about that later.